Hello and welcome to another episode of the Deck Durdle. So we're now on Urza's Legacy as we continue our way through Magic sets. So as you can see here, I've already generated the packs on MTGen and pulled them into Architect, and we're away. So what I've noticed already, and I'm sort of pulled towards here, I'll go through these cards. So first thing to remember, we're doing 6 packs from a small set. So you're going to notice interesting clusters of cards that you don't see with large sets. So with a small set and 6 packs, don't be surprised to see 3 ofs, 4 ofs of things. And what I've tended to find with previous ones I've done, that does result in pulling me towards certain colours more so than you get with a large set. And that's why I find part of the fun of doing all packs from the small set. It's not something that you normally do in a sort of organised play, except on Magic the Gathering Online. I think it's the main exception to that, because they did that for a while. I don't know if they still do. Well, actually there's no small sets anymore, so they wouldn't. So yeah, so it does create an interesting card pool when you do it with small sets, 6 packs from a small set. So just looking at this, obviously the benefit of doing the set musings is when I come to do this video, I'm just seeing the names of the cards and thinking, oh yeah, that's an interesting line. So just off bat, before we even start to go through some of the instants, see what instant speed removal we've got, what sort of bombs we've got, I can see already I definitely feel drawn towards green-white. We've got some lockdown here. We've got a couple of these enchantments that bounce back as well, or more than a couple. So we've got 1 Rancor, but we've got 4 of these Cessations. Over here, which is interesting, is we do have a Multani. Multani will probably go on to be the build-around card for the corresponding episode of Commander Fodder, where it's based on the rares from this particular pool. But in this deck as well, I want to try and incorporate that. Also, in white, we have Mother of Runes. So I'm going to go down the green or white path at the moment. That's one possibility. We'll see what else pops out. And we look like we've got a heavy amount of creatures in black. We've got multiple copies of some things. So there's 3 Phyrexian Denouncers. I'm also seeing some interesting removal at instant speed in black and some stuff in red as well. So I think black-red is going to be a build from this, but we'll see what happens. So we'll try the green-white first, but first I will actually go through some of the stuff, work out what stuff I'm just going to sideboard. So we'll start off over here actually with the enchantments, because the enchantments are so powerful in the deck, and a lot of them had these abilities on them, you know, so you had like an instant speed activation. So Phyrexian Reclamation. Okay, so that needs to go into my black deck when I build it. Actually, let's do the black deck first. So what did I say? I want to do black red, but let's see what blue offers. So slow motion during upkeep, plays 2. So you remember these from the episode of the set musings. These are enchantments that get checked during upkeep. Oh, and this is another one of these bounce enchantments that comes back from the there's so much. This is the problem, there's just so much powerful stuff in here. So let's just move I may even end up building 3 decks. There's a distinct possibility, because there's so much interesting stuff here. Okay, there's my maybe board open up. So let's just get rid of, so there's Rancor. So I'm going to come back to the green-white deck in a moment. I'm going to go down the black-red first of all. Whenever a spell you play is countered, draw a card. Yep. So sluggishness. Enchanted creature cannot block. We've got 3 of these. So I guess put into, okay. Impending disaster. During the upkeep if there are 7 no, I don't really want to be playing that. But I'm going to just put that in a different pile. So let's just sideboard that. Now this is one of these ones that turns into a creature. So when we come to build the white deck, Martyr's Curse, sacrifice a creature, print all damage. Okay. Just stick it down here. So artifacts, they could go in any deck. During each of your opponent's upkeeps, Iron Maiden deals 1 damage to that player for each card more than 4 in his hand. So I'll leave that in the each opponent's upkeeps. I don't want this when I come to build the green-white deck, because I want to encourage people to have full hands, because of there's going to be Multani in there. So, but for the purposes of black deck, or the black-red build, that's fine. Defense grid. Yep. Wing snare. What do we got? Destroy target creature. Well, that's my next deck I'm going to build. Lava Axe, we want to stay in. SWAT. So this is the instant speed stuff. Destroy target creature power 2 or less. Yep. Sick and tired. 2 target creature minus. Yep. Okay. Snap. So these are these free spells. Okay. So we have. Do we have a lot of them here? Return all artifacts to owner's hands. Counter target spell. So I definitely think, okay, so we're going to go for 3 decks here. We're going to go for a black, red, green, white, and then blue with whatever I decide might be the strongest other colour. So it might be a blue-black deck, maybe. Could be blue-white. We'll see. Parch. Oops. Repopulate. Shuffle all creature cards to target player above you. Okay. Good. Battle phase. Switch target creature's power and toughness until end of turn. Effects that alter the creature's power. Okay. Well, let me just leave that for the moment until we see what other cards we get to support that. That gets rid of enchantments. Actually, when I come to do my green-white deck, I probably would want to mainboard that. Radiant's Judgment. Destroy target creature with power 4 or greater. It's just tons of good stuff in here. Untap 2 target creatures, each of them gets... Okay. Throne War Machine, what does that do? Has Echo. Attacks if each turn if able. I think I'm going to be really sport for choice with creatures, but seeing as that, technically can go in any deck, I'll just leave that there for the moment. Okay, so I want black-red, but let's just see if there's anything I don't want to play. This just going through here. Target a spell to use 1 life. Flying 2/2. We'll come back to that. Plague Beetle with Swamp Walk. I'm not keen on 1/1 for 1 unless there's some compelling reason. Target goes to -1 until end of turn. Okay, so this is all the Phyrexian stuff. I don't have the Phyrexian Lord though, I don't think. No, I don't. Because this is in colour, then alphabetical order, I believe. Maybe. Is that reverse? Yeah, reverse alphabetical. Giant Cockroach. 3 and a black for a 4/2. Fog of Gnats. Oh, that's super annoying because you can regenerate it. Eviscerated protection from white. You lose 5 life when it comes into play. I've got 2 of them. I'm just going to take that out temporarily. That might be a good finisher, but let me just remove that. Okay, so these blue cards look really strong. So yeah, definitely want to do something in blue. What would be cool if I do the other 2 colours first? That's going to give me some idea of the stronger colour that I want to go with blue. Loads of good green stuff here. Oh yeah, that fella. Gang of Elk. So red, which is what's going into this deck. Oh, so this bounces back at end of turn. Obviously it has flash. I'm not flash. What am I thinking of? Hold on. Vianishino Cutthroat. Okay, so 2 of these do that bouncy thing. That's interesting. So it can't block, but you can push all of your excess red into that. Oh yeah, this thing, Defender of Chaos. So that has flash. Okay. Get to destroy a target land. And it has echo on it though. Right, white ones. Oh, sacrifice. I think I'm gonna, yeah, for the 3rd deck, I think it might be blue-white. It looks like blue-white flyers, maybe. Okay. 33. So we've got to get this down to what, around 23 cards? Okay. So how many copies of, let's try getting rid of multiple copies of some of these support cards. I have a lot of this Phyrexian stuff going to the graveyard. I need some way to get it back. I don't know if I want too many copies of sluggishness. During each player's turn, spells played by another player cost no. During each of your opponent's upkeeps, Iron Maiden deals 1 damage to that player. Okay. I'm keeping the Lava Axe. I'm not going to run too many copies of that. I don't know if that's going to help us. It's shaping up nicely. So I've got to lose 4 cards. How many copies of this do I need? Now, definitely want to play that and that. That's good because I can invest. I've got to make sure I'm playing sufficient red to invest into that. That's really super aggressive. Creature you control attack if able. I'm going to need to make sure that I wonder if I'm going to have to run slightly more mana in this deck just to make sure I don't get, make all my land drops. Take out one of those. So I'm just looking to see whether future reference that Blackwood might go better with something else. Yeah, there's actually too many options here. You could potentially, I'm just working out whether these Phyrexians would be better with something, you know, like a different colour. There's just so much cool stuff here. You probably, if I had time, you'd probably want to sit here and go through all 10 colour combinations just to see. Okay, so I want to lose 2. I think I really need to make sure I've got plenty of mana to recast this. Well, just to cast them and then... yeah, let's just make this really aggressive. I don't know if I want to run this many copies of Phyrexian Denouncer though. Decisions. Let's leave it at that. Let's just do 17 lands. Okay. What are my stats like? 60, 11 red. I don't want to go too low on the red. If you remember, the lands for this come from the large set, and they are cool. In some ways I don't mind which artwork I get, because some of these just awful pieces of artwork are so cool. I love the mountains in this set, and just everything's good, but I think particularly the mountains and the plains. If you're looking for cool mountains and plains for like your EDH deck, to me this is the set to go for. The only problem is as you can probably gather, I think these are slightly on the higher side. I have some of these in paper. I don't have a sufficient quantity to like completely fill out a whole EDH deck, but I did grab some when they were still relatively cheap. I think about 5 years ago. And I don't even know if I've got all of the colours, but I tried to get as much of the artwork as I could. Right, so So there is more black in here than red, but I do want to make sure I do have enough red. Okay, let's see what we get. So a swamp and a mountain. Okay, turn 3 removal, turn 5 lava axe, turn 3 Phyrexian broodings, and a turn 2 sluggishness. So nothing to play on first turn. We've got a turn 4 Phyrexian debaser. A mountain. So our second tide comes online. Another mountain. We're not looking good on the creature front here. Okay. So turn 2 Fiashino Sand Scout, turn 3 Defender of Chaos. Turn 4. Okay, things are looking better on this end. Like I said, I'm not sure if black and red was the best combination here. Those black cards might be better suited with another colour. Yeah. This is not a great deck. Okay, let's move on. So right, let's just drag in. Let's do the blue-white one next. Okay, so what we got? I'll drag this stuff in before I drag the other stuff out. Instant. Oh. I was wondering where it had gone. I'm thinking I did run some sorceries, didn't I? Any other deck? Bouncing Meebles. So I got Mother of Runes. There's a ton of support spells actually. Okay. Drag that out of the way. Okay, I've got 12 instants to choose from. Okay, so my blue white. How good that is. I suppose it depends on how slow the set is generally, because is it more likely by the time we get around the turn to be able to play this, they'd actually have more than 4 cards in their hand. Let me just sideboard that. Okay. Two, or sacrifice a creature. Okay. Levitation. I'm going to sideboard that. There's our cessation. Do I run? Yeah, I like that. Don't want that. I'm not going to run that many cessations there. Put down that to 2. Okay, counter spell. Bounce spell, free bounce spell. Sideboard the enchantment hate. I don't want multiples of that really. Yeah, I should have. Looking at these cards, it definitely. I won't do it now, but I think blue black would have been a better thing to go down instead of the black red, maybe. Looking at this, so just bear that in mind. I'll sideboard that. I mean, I probably would want to mainboard it, but right. Let's see. One for 3 with as a pinger. Flying protection red. Another one flying, you can untap it. Cloud of Fairies. It's a free spell. Creature enchantment. How much removal do I need? let's just take these down. So that generates 3/3 first strike creatures if one of your opponents successfully casts a creature spell. So where were we? Flying protection from artifacts, flying one for 2. Okay, another runes. Right. Okay, I'm gonna lose 2 cards here. Maybe that's a bit too specialised. Can't attack, but it can block. Maybe I don't. Okay. Just have a quick look at the stats. Wow, okay, yep. How many? Okay, so if we add in some, so like I said, the planes in this set are super nice. We'll see those in a moment. And then we need some, island. Some island. What do you reckon? Yeah, that one. This is just so cool, this artwork. Yeah, that one. Okay, so roughly equal mana here. Oops. which one do I need to expend slightly more blue in? Yeah, so that's what I thought. I think it's only blue or yeah. I've got an activation cost in blue, so I'll put slightly more blue in. Okay. Wow, I've got plenty of island. So this is we got three 3-drops and a 4-drop. Oh dear. So I think this is going to be a pretty slow deck. Wow, we got okay, no problems there with the land. So we got turn 2 snap, turn 3 light fairies and an opal champion. Oh, Mother of Runes. Throw War Machine. And all of the land to cast it, all of this stuff, so that's good. I think, hang on, yeah. Well, I think there's only, is it one card with double blue and one card with double white, so that's the only thing we'd have to be mindful of. Again, we're getting island flooded here. Well, it didn't matter, it doesn't matter so far until we got the opal champion. Yeah, I feel a bit more comfortable with this build. Okay, so that's the blue-white build. So, our only thing now is I did want to take a look at green. Most definitely. So we're going to do green white, I believe. Oops, wrong way. Okay. Get these over. I didn't know there was a rancor in here somewhere. Right. I'm a bit weak on creatures. We do have creatures in the form of our opal champion, so I'm not too worried. Destroy flying creatures. Shove all creature cards from target player's graveyard into that player's library. Okay, that's good. We can get creatures back. Creature destruction. There's our Rancor. Draw a card. Okay. Good. That was easy. Where's our... planes? Should have left those in. And then, so we've actually been around all the colours technically. So between 3 decks we've covered all 5 of the colours. I suppose that's what I mean. Trouble with this is it's not. This is stronger in something like multiplayer actually. Saying that, so it's a 6 drop, and by the time you play it, oh well, actually it's your hand and theirs. So as long as you don't have any cards that. Let me see what that says. Okay, so we got our card draw, so that's good. Okay, so those two are definitely working together. I can't see here. Just looking to see if I've forgotten something. That might help. Maybe not. Okay, let's play test this. Oh my word. Well, plenty of land. We're certainly going to make our drops. Well, that was an interesting opening hand. Oh yeah, nice and early for that. deck. There's only... Sorry, I'm old tiny. It's alright, I'm just looking again at some of these black cards. I'm not going to build it. When I first went through this, I was wondering whether there might be a better combination with black than red. Certainly if I had time. And again, I don't like these videos to go on beyond much than an hour. But some things to think about, I suppose, is there's a good old red-green, and that, yeah, that might be a thing to try. So a couple of other possible builds here is red-green, and then some sort of green-black deck. I'm wondering whether with a lot of the weaker Phyrexian stuff removed, maybe, or the Phyrexian stuff that doesn't fit quite so well. What I'm trying to work out with this is there like a black, more of a black control deck splashing one of the other colours, so blue black, and go down more of a control route, and just lock everything down. I don't know. Yeah, that might work. Because we did have quite a lot of sort of blue controls. Yeah, so maybe there is like a blue-black control deck in here. It's tricky though. That, yeah, out of all of these, I'm definitely, although there's just a ton of black creatures, there's a lot of skill in playing that sort of, you know, these sort of things where you're sacking them to destroy something else. And ideally, I suppose what I'd be looking for is something to get those back. Now, that's why I was thinking of black-green. There was the... Yeah, so probably the thing, if you're going to play back, it might be better off with this particular pool is to either go black-green and somehow get some of that Phyrexian stuff back. But there's only one of those. Where's that Phyrexian reclamation? Yeah, you just don't have enough of that. What you'd need is some of the more, what was it? Was it Unearth was in the set, this set as well? Some of the more sort of graveyard recursion stuff, and I'm not really seeing enough of that. So that's where this might be a problem, playing these. So either not worrying about too much about getting them back and just using them as a form of control, and do some sort of blue-black control. I don't know, what would be your finisher really? I suppose one of the larger blue creatures, I suppose, might be a thing. yeah, just a few things to think about there. Like I said, I'm not going to specifically try and build those, but yeah, that's what I've built so far. That's probably some other stuff I would try. Would be maybe a green black thing, and then some sort of blue black control deck. Okay, that's it. I think I'm done on this particular video. So once again, thanks for watching. Bye for now.